Homeopathy will become a real medical science only when we are capable of scientifically explaining and proving the biological mechanism involved in Similia Similibus Curentur, as well as the exact molecular level process happening during potentization, by which the medicinal properties of drug substances are transmitted to a medium without any drug molecule remaining in it. So far as we do not know what actually happens during potentization, what are the active principles of highly diluted homeopathic drugs we use, and what is the exact biological mechanism by which they work, everything we talk about mode of application, dosage, repetitions, durations of actions, side effects, single multiple drugs, medicinal aggravations, suppressions, high potency proving, drug relationships, antidoting and so on are mere speculations without any scientific validity. Only thing we are really sure about is that it works. A knowledge could be considered scientific if it is in the form of explanations and predictions about any phenomenon of the universe that is testable using scientific method. Scientific method involves making hypothetical explanations about phenomena using existing knowledge, deriving predictions from the hypotheses as logical consequences, and then carrying out experiments or empirical observations based on those predictions, so as to prove or disprove the hypotheses. For homeopathy to survive in this new era of scientific awareness and advancement, it is inevitable that modern biochemistry should be made the foundation of homeopathy education. But our respected decision-makers cannot understand its importance, as they are still immersed themselves in the 2 centuries-old superstitious beliefs of immaterial vital force and dynamic medicinal energy. If symptoms expressed in a particular disease condition as well as symptoms produced in a healthy individual by a particular drug substance were similar, it means the disease-causing molecules and the drug molecules could bind to same biological targets and produce similar molecular errors, which in turn means both of them have similar functional groups or molecular conformations. This phenomenon of competitive relationship between similar chemical molecules in binding to similar biological targets scientifically explains the fundamental homeopathic principle Similia Similibus Curentur. Normal biomolecular interactions essential for vital processes happen through selective binding between biological target molecules and their natural ligands. A state of disease emerges when some endogenous or exogenous molecules having conformational similarity to natural ligands prevent this binding between biological targets and their legitimate ligands by competing with natural ligands by a sort of molecular mimicry and binding themselves to the target molecules. Molecular imprints of ligands, or of any drug molecule having conformations similar to them, can bind to the exogenous or endogenous pathogenic molecules, deactivate them, and facilitate the normal interactions between biological ligands and their natural targets. This is the biological mechanism involved in high-dilution homeopathic cure. Only way the medicinal properties of a drug substance could be transmitted to a medium during homeopathic potentization without any single drug molecule remaining in it is by preserving its conformational details by a process of molecular imprinting, since conformational properties of molecules play a decisive role in biomolecular interactions. During trituration, substances are converted into fine nanoparticles, their intermolecular bonds get broken and made free, molecules become more reactive and soluble, so that even insoluble substances can form colloidal solutions in water. When added to water-ethanol mixture, these drug molecules get surrounded by water-ethanol molecules, leading to the formation of hydrogen-bonded host-guest complexes, in which drug molecules act as guests and water-ethanol hydration shells as hosts. During the process of succussion, due to the high mechanical energy involved, the solution is subjected to a process of cavitation and nanobubble formation, whereby the drug molecules are detached from host-guest complexes, adsorbed to the fine membranes of nanobubbles, and raised to the top layers of the solution, leaving the empty hydration shells free, which are actually supramolecular nanocavities formed in water-ethanol matrix into which the conformational details of drug molecules are imprinted. We call these empty supramolecular cavities formed of water and ethanol molecules as molecular imprints. Even though hydrogen bonds in water are normally known to be very weak and transient, Due to the strong and unbreakable hydrogen bonding between water and ethanol molecules characteristic of their peculiar azeotropic mixtures used in homeopathic potentization, molecular imprints formed in homeopathic potentized drugs remain highly stable and active for very long periods. When a homeopath searches for a similimum for a patient by matching his totality of symptoms with the drug symptoms given in the materia medica, he is actually trying to identify a drug substance that contains some chemical molecules that have conformations similar to those of the particular chemical molecules that are involved in the disease process, so that the drug molecules and disease-causing molecules will have a competitive relationship in binding to similar biological targets. Since molecular imprints of drug molecules contained in potentized forms of drug substance can act as artificial binding pockets for the disease-causing molecules having competitive relationship due to the conformational affinity in between them, and can remove the pathological molecular inhibitions, post-Avogadro dilutions of similimum drug could be used as a therapeutic agent as per the principle Similia Similibus Curentur. If you are not yet convinced regarding what I said about similimum above, kindly find some time to read your old biochemistry texts, and try to understand the molecular mechanism involved in the phenomenon known as competitive relationship of similar chemical molecules in binding to biological targets, also known as molecular mimicry.